In another move to generate power independently, the Lagos State government has planned to achieve 1 gigawatt of solar photovoltaic generation by 2030 through its off-grid electrification strategy and action plan. The government of Lagos State noted recently that the federal government recent constitutional alteration bill number 33 grant the state authority to regulate electricity generation, transmission and distribution. This of course in essence will create a Lagos electricity market, increasing access to electricity, investment and job opportunities. The new bill will promote efficiency, leading to better service delivery. Lagos State government has been preparing for this day by launching an electricity policy, publishing its off-grid strategy, presenting its integrated resource plan and drafting a law to establish the Lagos electricity market. Lagos State off-grid electrification plan states that $1 billion is required from the government and private sector to fund each 1 gigawatt off-grid solution. The state noted that it will set up an electrification fund empowered by applicable laws, with the Lagos State Electrification Agency responsible for its disbursement. This plan is expected to be funded by a mix of public finance including state off-grid solution budgetary allocation, private finances from institutional investors, donor and development institutions, multilateral finance institutions, and green and climate finance funds, and any other source of finance as identified and designated by the state government. The plan also emphasized that Lagos State may consider other relevant private-public partnership models such as joint off-grid solution project finance, which can be achieved through a special purpose vehicle with the state's contribution through land or capital source from the state electrification fund. The state may also consider concession arrangement to off-grid solution providers in electrifying areas such as build, own, operate, transfer, build, own, operate, build, purchase, own, transfer, and power as a service. The Lagos State government is also expected to explore appropriate models in its partnerships with the private sector and support appropriate private sector models such as pay-as-you-go and lease-to-own where relevant, while encouraging gender and social inclusion. According to the electrification plan, the 1 gigabyte solar off-grid solution will electrify 1.6 million households, which is approximately 36% of Lagos, and create 40,000 jobs by 2030. The governor of Lagos noted that a bill signed by the past president of Nigeria granting state the autonomy in the electricity market will strengthen plans to install the 1 gigawatt of solar energy by 2030 and increase access to electricity, investment and job opportunities. Lagos has also noted that it is committed to achieving 1 gigawatt of solar energy in Lagos by 2030 and have engaged with the World Bank for suitable funding. With the creation of the Lagos electricity market, Lagos is set to fulfill its potential as Africa's model megacity. Energy stakeholders have noted that Lagos State no doubt fits the description. There is enough suppressed demand given that Lagos and its environs currently take up to 25% of currently available power generated, and lots more customers are not connected to the grid, preferring to be captive or being unserved or underserved. The state sits on a huge untapped gas potentials. The infrastructure is largely available, or at least the investment required to unlock makes a good investment case. They also went ahead to note that gas-fired power plants can be developed in Lagos State to power the 1 gigawatt off-grid solution. Recall that some time ago, during the tenure of the past administration, the then president signed a constitutional amendment to grant state the power to generate, transmit and distribute electricity. The policy at the time was geared at developing state electricity market and also to see to the creation of more distribution and generation companies under state. Experts also noted that the amendment will increase metering for new connections as well as enable the decentralization of power. Experts also believe that with the amendment, states will have the power to utilize the electricity resources in their state for electricity generation, thereby contributing to their internally generated revenue. The Lagos State government, in light of this, has promised Lagosians that a 1 gigawatt renewable energy would bridge the power supply gap in the state. It noted that the aim behind the 1 gigawatt was to bridge the gap between required energy and available power supply, as well as assist Lagos to shift towards low carbon emission megacity. According to the government, increasing available renewable energy would make Lagos a more resilient city and help create more jobs as well as other benefits. It was also noted that the commitment of the state government to renewable energy formed reasons it was picked along with 3 other cities by the Resilient Cities Network to accelerate its equitable energy transition through resilient building efforts. to fast-track the actualization of the agenda and design suitable renewable energy model for Lagos. The workshop was designed to gather experts from both private and public sector to understand the manufacturing and technical capacity within Lagos in order to source for the materials locally. One thing to note is that Lagos State is home to over 20 million people, making it the most populated state in Nigeria. Available records shows that the state is the continent's 5th largest economy with a GDP larger than most African countries on the continent. It is therefore not surprising that Lagos is the commercial center of Nigeria, with more than half of the country's industrial investment headquartered in the state. Lagos also accounts for most of the non-oil revenue in Nigeria. In times past, the Lagos State government have taken steps to improve electricity in the state, but electricity generation under the purview of the federal government made it impossible. In 1999, the Lagos State, under the then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, signed a multi-million-dollar deal to distribute electricity to about 8 million residents of the state. Despite its commercial potential, Lagos still relies on electricity from the grid. In 2022, the then Commissioner of Lagos State Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources announced that 80% of the electricity used in the state was from generators or off-grid. With the passage of a new bill, the policy identifies the need for a Lagos electricity market, which will ensure an increase in the quality and quantity of service to Lagos residents. It provides a deregulated market for electricity, which will include several major players like transmission, distribution companies, amongst others. It will provide a framework and map for the private sector, commercial viability, service delivery, and others in the electricity sector, and this policy will also provide the constitutional, legal, regulatory, technical, and commercial foundation of the market. It is also set to encourage the use of renewable energy. The policy document noted that renewable sources of energy are crucial to not just the visibility of the policy, but to the increased generation of power in the state. Lagos State gets approximately 16,000 MW to push its economy and provide electricity to the state, of which 1,000 MW is from the grid, while 15,000 MW comes from off-grid, which includes a small percentage of renewable sources. It was after the announcement of giving state the power to generate electricity that the Governor of Lagos State, through his verified social media platform, announced Lagos State plan for its off-grid strategy. He also noted the state commitment to increasing renewable energy usage in the state by announcing the state will be able to generate 1 gigawatt of solar energy by 2030. The long-term plan for this project includes a fully operational Lagos electricity market, which will be credible, commercially oriented, technically compliant, well-funded, and financially visible. Furthermore, an annual growth of at least 30% and 75%, and the capacity and reliability of electricity in the state respectively. Within 5 years, electricity should witness growth from 1,000 megawatts and to 81,000 megawatts by 2028 as projected. While Lagos State relies on off-grid plant located in the state, it aims to see a reduction in emission from off-grid generators and move from distillate fuels to natural gas and renewable sources, which will help climate change.